everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we have a chance to check new kit from Modelcollect. But first let me invite you to check previous review with hemmed track from the same manufacturer, which you can find here. And also don't forget to visit our website by clicking this link. So as you can see, Modelcollect decided to press on their 72nd scale model lineup. So this new BMP-3 with ERA infantry fighting vehicle, of course, is molded in 72nd scale, and it should be quite an unusual, let's say, vehicle in such a small scale. As you can see, boxing is quite typical for this manufacturer. Here you can see comparison with my hand, it's not that big. On the sides there is some information about the manufacturer and also some safety advice for the kit. This is a top opening box. As you can see, it's quite sturdy, so it should survive rough shipment, and I think everything what's hidden inside will be intact even after some rough drops or some other, let's say, post mishandling. As you can see, plastic sprues are packed into the one plastic bag. Then we have some additional extras, we will check them later. So first let's open the plastic bag and check what's hidden inside, because basically this is a new tooled kit which wasn't available before, and now we have a chance to buy it. Already I see one broken off part. Here you can see it. I guess this is a small seat or something like this, but I hope it will be easy to fix it. Next we have separate plastic sprue with ERA armor. Here you can see it. First, when I, let's say, saw the box art, I thought that those panels will be assembled separately, but as you can see, Modelcollect decided to mold them in this, let's say, design, so that you have one piece part and you don't have to worry about assembling separate sections of those parts. And as you can see, molding quality is quite nice, so I hope assembly will be easy as well. Next we have two similar plastic sprues, and I will show you only one because they carry absolutely identical parts. And here you can see that we have tracks. Kit doesn't feature vinyl parts, kit features plastic parts, and as you can see they look quite nice. And of course, as I say, usually those parts should be easier to work with, should be easier to paint and weather, and of course the final result will look more realistic on the model. So this is only an advantage in my opinion, and I think all kits, like, it's already 2016, so all kits should pack such a, let's say, such parts. And here we can see the next plastic sprue. So the broken part which we saw in the beginning is this one. As you can see, it's positioned in, let's say, not that wise placement, and it can be easily broken off as on this sprue, because there are two identical sprues. Nothing serious as far as you can see, but be careful, because as you can see here, all seats are molded in a slightly different way. Also here we have some suspension parts, drive sprocket, and separately molded hatches. Molding quality is quite impressive for such small scale, because here, for example, you can see drive sprockets, and here you can see my finger, so they are slightly smaller than my finger, which is really impressive once again. And here you can see wheels. My camera even thinks that those are faces. And then here you can see the hatches. I think hatches will be, let's say, positionable, so that you can assemble them in open, let's say, version. But it will be up to you, of course, because, I mean, there is almost no internal detailing as far as you can see, only some seats. So if you want to display open hatches on your vehicle, you will be able to do it. Next plastic sprue is dedicated to the turret parts. Here we can see the top turret half and the bottom one. Also we can see the ERA panels for the turret and some separately molded hatches. Note the turret hatches are molded also as separate elements so that you can open them too. And here we can see the special, let's say, placement points so that gun barrel will be movable. Here you can see it. And I'm not sure what for we will need those 4 dots. We will see it in the assembly manual. Maybe for the proper positioning of this top part, but no, there is nothing inside, so it's quite an interesting solution. Those parts I think are rear armor panels, and here we have some panels for the hull, some additional armor as I said, and some hatches. Molding quality is still quite nice, even though, as you can see here, for example, attachment points are a bit thick for this scale, of course, so you will have to be careful while cutting them off. Next we have sole plastic sprue with hull parts. Here we can see the bottom hull parts, side panels, and also the top hull part. Molding quality is quite impressive. I mean, I will remind you, this is a 70-second scale, and here you can see that those parts are quite small. I mean, I can, let's say, cover them with 2 fingers and that's all, and this model maybe can even fit on the palm. So with some careful assembly and weathering you can get an impressive copy of the BMP in such a small size. Here you can see the bottom plate. Here are some side panels. Note that they are molded together with fenders. Here we can see the side panels for the bottom hull part. Note that they are molded together with suspension arms. So basically you won't have to fiddle with alignment of all those minor parts. They are pre-installed in the right position. So there won't be any problem with let's say improper clearance or improper alignment of those parts. And here we can see the top hull part. Quite an impressive, I would say, surface detailing, and here you can see that some Pioneer tools are pre-molded onto this part, which is, let's say, a nice feature. But some modelers, of course, will appreciate the separately molded tools because they are easier to paint or maybe more realistic, but that's what we have on this model. Next we have another plastic sprue. Actually, this is the last plastic sprue in this kit. And here we have different parts for the hull, for the internal turret detailing, and I think also for the interior of the hull. I will zoom in the camera so that you can see parts closer. Here, by the way, you can see the main gun barrel. I'm not sure if there is a metal version of this. We will see it further in the review. External armor panel, rear armor panel, and I guess this part should go into the turret. And from the other side, of course, there is nothing interesting, as you can see here, because all, let's say, fine detailing is placed on the other side. Next we have decal sheet. This one is printed in quite nice quality, but again it's a generic, let's say, generic decal sheet, which is featured in all Modelcollect kits with modern Russian tanks. And I would prefer to see, let's say, something more specific, which is designed only for this particular kit and should be attached to some marking option. I mean, come on, it's already the time to feature such solution. Next we have assembly guide. As you can see, they slightly changed the design of the brochure, but it's a typical Modelcollect brochure. Why? Because next we have a history note with technical specifications. Then we have a parts map, and note that there are 3 PE sprues included. We will check them further in the review. Here you can see assembly of the turret, again and again. Then starts the hull, and note that the turret will feature quite detailed interior parts. what's quite unusual, I would say. And here you can see some of the final steps for the whole assembly, and also here we can see the marking guide for only one marking option, which is included into this kit. It was developed together with AMOMIC, and of course paint numbers are given in AMOMIC designations, of course. And last but not the least is the plastic bag with PE sprues. You can see it here. Just give me a second to remove them, because here we have quite a set of PE parts. So overall there are 4 PE threads with different parts for the external detailing. And Modelcollect kits are quite famous for such, let's say, minor detailing. So it will be up to you how you use all those tiny parts, because they will require some pointed tweezers. I mean, I'm 100% sure in this. So that's all for this video review. As usual, you can find full review article on our website. There you can see the detailed photos and also text in Russian and English. And also don't forget to check our YouTube channel, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video review as usual.